Hey guys, Lord here, back again with another review. Today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Walmart exclusive, oh boy, the Eradicator. But before we get into the meat and taters of this review, let's kindly move Mr. Eradicator out of the way for a moment. Sorry, I couldn't help but roll my R's there. I had two opportunities to do it, and I took them all. Here's a look at both the front and the back. It's packaging, and you can see the Eradicator. Okay, I'll stop. Right there. There's the gold label on the front. And a weird sticker on the side of mine. I don't know what this is for. I don't know if that's a barcode. I don't know if it's to keep people from stealing it. I don't care, because it's on the box. And you know what we do with those? Exactly. So, bringing back the man of the hour. A little bit different than I'm used to for the Eradicator. Notice I didn't roll my R's that time. But taking a look-see at his accessories, he comes with a collectible trading card. It has the same picture as the back of the box. There's a buy on the back. You can pause and read at your own leisure. Back to rolling my R's again. And you might actually want to do that, because this is a completely different version of the Eradicator than I am used to. Me, myself, and I prefer the Reign of the Supermen, you know, the late 90s look for this character. When he and Superboy, Connell Superboy, or Connor Kent, I should say, and Cyborg Superman and good old Steel, not Shaquille O'Neal Steel, but the cool version of Steel. You could interchange that with the one from the cartoon if you want, but either way, I prefer that version as opposed to whatever the Sam heck is going on here, because for lack of a better term, I don't want to sound offensive or anything, but he has a case of blackface going on that I didn't notice until literally a few minutes before I turned the camera on. So, not sure what's going on with that. This Eradicator is more of a robot and like steals people's souls, or takes them, or whatever, and is associated with Mongol and stuff. I don't recall the original version being that way, not for nothing, but he was also, I don't think, a robot, and had like the pretty much just the Superman face with this Cyclops glasses going on. It basically looked like Cyclops from X-Men, the Jim Lee X-Men, early 90s stuff there, but a very different take on this character, I must say. That said, we do have a pair of, in my opinion, over-exaggerated, like, grabby hands. I mean, he looks like he's going to have arthritis if he stays that way, so I wouldn't advise that. I would have taken some, you know, flight hands over those. Good old-fashioned karate chops, because I don't think we have black flight hands for this buck, which I want to say is the Rebirth Superman or the Rebirth Bizarro buck. It feels kind of like those, particularly in the boots, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. So if you know, let me know in the comments, because these gold label figures are typically just mild repaints with some new stuff here and there. I mean, obviously the cape's new, the torso's new, the head is new. I'm not sure about the arms and legs. I don't recall these gloves being on anyone. Maybe they're from a Batman of some kind, but I don't know. That said, he does come with the hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases. It's black hockey puck stand. What do you expect? That said, moving that off to the side. Unfortunately, I don't have my old Mattel Eradicator to compare this guy to, so you can really see the difference, but yeah, look at that, just solid black. Like, I don't even think it's like a black skin tone. I think it's just a solid black face, and it's very odd. So if anyone has got some insight on this version of the character, so I don't look like quote-unquote racist a-hole, then please let me know, because I don't know if he's supposed to be a black guy or just a black guy. Very odd. But as far as articulation goes, his head can look up and down pretty far. Give him a look up pretty far. With that double ball peg. Oh yeah. I love those. If you hadn't noticed. You can look down okay. Not the best, but okay. He's got some tilt. He's got side to side. He's got the good old gold sunglasses there. Shoulders go out to the side. Back down. I think this one. And they got the clicks, but they're very soft. But that's okay. He's got that butterfly cut we're used to seeing. Cap, whatever. You can rotate up and down. He's got a bicep twist. Double elbow. Kind of chunky on that. Maybe, is this the Ultraman body? Maybe? Okay, the top one don't want to bend on that side. But we're stupid. We're going to make like Static X. Push it. It doesn't want to go. Maybe this is stuck. I thought it worked. Ah, there we go. I make like Static X and push it. I knew it worked. I don't know why it wasn't going, but there you go. Not the cleanest thing ever, but it's fine. And he's got the ball hinge wrists. And for those of you wondering, because my Shazam was a bit of a pain in the nuts, the hands do come off quite easy. And they do snap on quite easy, and they stay in place. So that's good. Let me test the elbow over here. That one's kind of stiff too. Oh, there we go. That one's a little less stiff than the other one. Just got to get some traction on it. Torso can crunch, not really. Can bend back a little bit, but you're not going to get a ton out of that. It does have a little bit of pivot and side to side movement there. He's got a waist twist, which works only because the diaper is very wide on this guy. Look at that. I can almost stick my finger in there. Not sure why you'd want to stick your finger in Eradicator's pants, but to each their own. I guess I could always heat this and flatten it here. I might even try that, but kind of makes the sculpt look a little funny. But yeah, there is some gapping there that I don't think is totally necessary. Especially since he doesn't have like a belt to cover it. Hips kick out to the side. About that far. Diaper is very hard on this guy too. It's not as soft as we've seen. He's got forward and back. He's got a little thigh quiver up in there. He's got a double knee, which doesn't look terrible. Looks okay. A little chunky, but not bad. He's got a boot, like, cut, sculpted in, but the Eradicator doesn't wear boots, so that does look kind of cheap to me. That looks kind of, eh. I wish that line wasn't there. They got plenty of parts by now. They ought to be able to, I don't know, give us a clean lower leg that's just like the suit material and not the boot without this boot cuff here. Or better yet, just paint the whole foot like black or something just so it doesn't look kind of cheap like that, because it does look kind of lazy. Lazy is a better word for it. That said, he does have the ball hinge ankles that do work. They do rotate. And he does have the rocker. And the toe joints that aren't worth a crap. Still would like to know why we have those instead of, I don't know, anything else. But there you go. That's Eradicator in a nutshell. He's got this cape that's all windswept. I would have preferred something a little bit more relaxed, but hey, it's a nice cape. You can't take that from Todd. A lot of the capes that his company sculpts are actually quite nice, and this one's fairly light. Like, this is really light as far as the material they used. It's like a very soft, pliable rubber, so gets out of the way. We'll say this piece here I could have done without, maybe. Like, just right off with that, we would have been aces, but it is what it is, man. It looks good. Looks good enough. Still not sure about what's going on up here, but I'm not too familiar with this version of the character, so I guess I need to look into that. But he's got the symbol there. Oh, the cape doesn't connect. What? It's probably not supposed to. Oh, maybe it does. It's different from what I'm used to. The other one, the cape kind of gave him really broad shoulders too. So it is what it is. Is it the best of the gold labels? I don't think so. I think it's fine. If you want a McFarlane Eradicator, then this is your only option, unfortunately. But it's not bad. It's fine. It's serviceable. A little tricky to stand because of the cape and the feet, but you can get it done. Get her done. But yeah, that's about it. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. This cape's gonna make it a pain in the nuts to do size comparisons though, because it's all on one side. I like to have my size comparison centered, dang it. But Todd Father don't care about Boy Overlord's video quality, I guess. So with that being said, before this review drags out any longer than it already has, let's compare this guy to our two regulars for size comparisons to keep things short and sweet, as we have been as of late. Well, actually, yesterday with the Hudson review, we didn't do that, but we're going to keep it short and sweet today. And as promised, here is the Eradicator. I rolled my R's, but it wasn't quite as long that time. Alongside our two regulars, the Mythic Legions, Brother Mandibulus, Love its spawn as usual, towers over everyone, because don't get it twisted, even though Brother Mandibulus looks a little bit larger than life, compared to normal that is, it's because of Eradicator's goofy arse cape that's literally covering half of where he would be standing, so don't really have much of a choice there, unless I did one at a time, and, well, let's just face it, you guys don't have time for that, and neither do I, so with that being said, time to wrap things up, some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the fact that this is yet another Wal-Mart exclusive in the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line, I think we can all agree that they are by far the worst kind of exclusive when it comes to this line, because some folks have an easier time finding these things than others. That aside though, I do still really like this figure, despite the fact that it is not my mind's eye view of this character. I much prefer the mid to late 90s look for Eradicator here, instead of whatever the heck is going on here. It's just not my thing, man. But it is an Eradicator figure in this new McFarlane Toys era of DC figures, so I had to pick him up. I am a somewhat, sorta, kinda, maybe a little bit completionist when it comes to this line, at least when it comes to some of the exclusives, especially the comic book related ones, because that's my jam when it comes to DC. Even though I'm a Gotham City kid, not a Metropolis kid, I do still like the Reign of the Superman and, most importantly, the Death of Superman arc, and hope we get more characters from that really soon. I know the Connell Superboy is starting to hit, and I wouldn't be surprised if during Toy Fair season we see a Steel, Cyborg, Superman, and even a Doomsday to go along with these guys. But I did have one major gripe with this figure, other than I think the legs look a little bit lazy with that boot cut, but clearly there's not meant to be a boot a part of this guy's costume. It would be the cape. It's just a bit cumbersome to work with, even though it is a light material, thankfully. It does take up quite a bit of real estate and is a little bit difficult when I'm trying to pose this guy. Getting him into this pose, the cape just kind of wanted to bury his arm, and I'm not into that, man. That, I wish he did come with some flight pose hands as opposed to arthritis, open, graspy hands. They just don't look well. They look kind of odd. But, yeah, still like this figure, but not the best in the world. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please feel free to do all the YouTube rigmarole, as well as hit me up over on Instagram at Overlord Productions if you ever want to talk toys or anything in particular. It's the #1 best way to get a hold of yours truly. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when how many more Walmart exclusives are we going to get until McFarlane Toys realizes that we don't like exclusives, man. The chase is not worth it. It is a pain in the butt. And I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for others who have had a dickens of a time finding exclusives lately. I know some people who are having a hard time finding some of the Target figures like Deadman. And that's surprising because usually the Target figures are way easier to find. But not that Deadman, man. Not that Deadman, man. So with that being said, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.